Welcome back to Winnipeg Jets season number 3. And guys, we have a fantastic team going into the regular season. Last year, we were able to win the President's Trophy, but the President's Trophy curse got to us in the postseason. We lost in the first round. I believe it was to Dallas. But guys, the team looks absolutely insane. We've still got that insane first line with 95, 94, 92, and the +5 for the chemistry. The second line, Logan Stankoven, I tried to convince him to be a second liner. His role went up to a first liner because he got the +2 offensive and defensive awareness, as well as a little bit of puck control, I believe it is. So we'll have to get him to fit the first line when we can talk to him again, but Lindell's up to an 87 now, centering that second line with Perfetti as the second line left winger. That is a fantastic second line. Then our third line, we've got our 1-year rental here in Jonathan Drouin with Brad Lambert, the up-and-coming youngster, 22, low elite, 82. And then we got Frank Nazar on the right wing to be the goal scorer for this line. I'm pretty pumped for it. I mean, the passing, the puck control, the offensive awareness, an offensive dynamo, really, really good skater. I got to work on everybody skating in the offseason. And then the fourth line is Luchenko, Delandria, and Nemestikov. I think it's really, really good as well, and it's got a +2, so we're going to leave it like that. And then there was some discussion about the blue line. You guys left comments about it. I think what I want to do, Pionk is probably not going to change his style, right? He's 31. I talked to him. He said he's not going to change his style. I think we can make it work with two offensive defensemen. I mean, because look at their defensive category, guys. 97 defensive awareness with 93 stick checking. And then we've got 93 defensive awareness with 90 stick checking and 88 shot blocking and 89 shot. Like these guys are phenomenal. Josh Morrissey with the 98 offensive awareness, 99 puck control, 95 passing. Very, very similar story here for Neil Pionk. And then the second pairing, right? They're both left-handed defensemen, but we've seen these two work really, really well together. And Mikey Anderson's up to an 88 overall, so I don't really want to mess with things too much, especially because we have proven track record of success. And then on the third pairing is Miller and Jones again. But guys, Grzelcyk at 85, Anderson at 88, Grzelcyk 32, so he may not have too many years left. He does have that modified no trade clause that I gave him. $5.5 million is certainly fine for what type of player he is, but maybe somebody in the offseason, should things not go right, or should we see signs of a little bit of regression for him, we would maybe move on from him at the draft, save ourselves $5.5 million, and not worry about it there. And then the goaltending here, Connor Hellebuck's up to a 96 overall, and Eric Comrie's still chilling there as the backup. So he's listed as a minor league starting goaltender. He's a backup for us. I'm not too concerned about it. He's never been great, but he's never been like detrimental to the roster. So I think we're completely fine here. And then in the AHL, guys, it looks fantastic. Chibrikov and Dumais, Kupari, Lahiru, like there's a lot of talent here that could come up and fill out the bottom six. Hopefully something along the lines of the defense too. But let's jump into the simulation. I think this should be a pretty cakewalk of a season, considering how we've been really dominant each year and we keep getting better in the regular season. It's more about the playoffs, but there's still a long regular season with a lot could change. So let's dive into the sim and hopefully things go exactly how I'm planning on them. Guys, it has all come together for us to start this season. We are approaching the halfway point. I wanted to get to just a couple months into the season and do the conversations off screen here. But we are number 1 in goals for per game, number 2 in goals against per game, the 3rd best power play in the league, and again, 16th on the penalty kill. So we might have to do something about our penalty killing coach, because this is not the first time that our coach or that our team has been pretty average on the penalty kill. I mean, we're supposed to have an A- coach for the penalty kill and Scarabelli here. Maybe we want to promote Domi from the AHL. I don't know. The team seems like it should be good enough when it comes to the penalty kill coaching. I mean, I know he's got D offense, but A- penalty kill for our assistant coach who takes control of your penalty kill. Maybe we do need to get an A on that, because I think we do have the talent to do well there. Turigny is still a free agent head coach. He's not going to come be our assistant, that's for darn sure. But as far as like a penalty, there's not really much of an upgrade available out there. With the coaching, there's not much of an upgrade. So maybe something to look for in the off season, but at least for now, I think we're going to ride it out with Scarabelli. I know our penalty kill was not great last year, and not in the postseason either, but guys, it has been going so well for us. You can see that we currently sit at 45 points, which is 7 more than the Canucks, who are a great team this season. We've gone toe-to-toe with them a couple times already. And we are just by far and away leading the pack in the NHL. I mean, we're the top team basically offensively and defensively, as well as the 3rd best power play. So can't really complain too much about how things are going. Let's take a look at the points. And we Kyle Connor already has 51 points in 28 games. Mark Scheifele with 51 in 28 as well. More of a passer, and he's got that gold tape to tape, so it makes sense. And then you've got Nikolai Ehlers here with 18 goals in 28 games, so he's on pace for maybe 60. I did challenge him this past offseason to get 50 goals. I think he might be he's definitely on pace for, I don't know. He's close to being able to do that. But then the good news is Josh Morrissey with 33 points. He's got to be giving Cal McCarr a run for his money is my guess at this point. Sticking with the forwards, Stankoven has seemingly boosted that second line so much. I mean, he's got 5 power play points, so he's not just a power play merchant. But 9 goals, 22 points. I'll take it for our second line. And obviously there's going to be a drop off when your top line is scoring 51 points. So to have these guys in the 20s, Lindell, Perfetti, it's a big plus. Drouin is looking great. He's got 7 goals, shooting 10%, so it's not crazy to think that we can get this level of contribution from him for the rest of the season. Nazar is a -1, but Brad Lambert, his rookie season here is going pretty well. Now, these guys aren't getting a ton of ice time. They're getting 12 and 11 minutes respectively between Nazar and Lambert, so I'd like to see them get a little bit more ice time, but it is what it is. And then finally, the fourth line, it's a -2. It's not great, but I mean, obviously we got to let goals against some way, somehow. I did challenge Jet Luchenko to get a 50% face-off percentage. Doesn't look like he's going to get there, but it's the least of our worries right now. Josh Morrissey, though, with 33 points. Neil Pionk with 10. This pairing is already a +20, which is absolutely ridiculous. And we got Anderson with Grzelcyk, solid pairing in the middle, and then Miller and Jones. And you got to think that Connor Hellebuck is having a great season, and so is Eric Comrie. The team as a whole is just looking phenomenal. 915, 263 for Comrie. That is for Hellebuck, excuse me. That is fantastic. And we're actually able to play Eric Comrie and more, and he's actually producing for us. 2 shutouts for him. He's the only one with a shutout. So honestly, guys, team is rolling right now. I've got no concerns with how anybody is performing. It's all fantastic. Taking a look at the takeaways, it's Lindell back on his thing, right? 43 takeaways already, almost 2 takeaways per game, on pace for that. More like 1.5. But Scheifele, Ehlers, Stankoven, Connor, Nemesnikov on the fourth line is doing exactly what we need him to defensively on the penalty kill. Things look phenomenal, guys, so let's keep it rolling. We just got to January 1st, and I'm looking at the contract extensions, guys, and there's really not much we need to do. Now, we don't have a ton of cap space next season. It says we're going to have 6.1. When I go into the extension dollars, though, it does say that we only have about 2.4 extension dollars remaining, so I think the cap's going to go up. But as far as what we can spend currently, it's not enough to retain a guy like Jonathan Drouin. However, he's not asking for too much. So if we could find a way to make that cap space work, I would love to bring back a guy like Jonathan Drouin. Maybe at the draft, we let go of a guy. I was going to say, where is he? Nemesnikov here. 2.25 for Nemesnikov. If we could get a similar level, a similar contract done for Drouin, I think I'd like to have him back. He's perfect for the third line, but we do have Dumais coming up, so I'm going to let you guys let me know down in the comment section about the extensions. Do we just want to have Drouin be a rental? Do we want to bring him back and move on from Nemesnikov? Or, because I'm worried about clogging up the pipeline, because we do have a couple guys down there in the AHL that are going to be close to NHL ready, if not already, like Dumais, Sugihara, right? We can't forget about Rylan Sugihara, who's not even signed to a contract. Chibrikov, too, could be a guy that fills out the bottom 6, and we get younger and cheaper and probably faster, considering I've ruined everybody's speed with the 5-on-5 focus, but it is what it is. I think we probably do let Jonathan Drouin walk, because we've got Sugihara. I didn't even think about that. We've got a lot of talent. I think we're in a really, really healthy spot, but let's keep simulating and get back to things that matter this season. And we're here at the eve of the trade deadline, and I don't see any reason for us to make any type of move. We are the 3rd best offense in the league with the 7th best defense in the league, number 1 on the power play, and again, middle of the road on the penalty kill. And maybe I would like to get a penalty killer or something, but Our guys fit the penalty killing scheme. They're all talented two-way forwards and talented defensively. And I mean, things are working. I don't really want to make a move when our team is doing so well. I hope we don't run into an issue where the refs get whistle happy in the playoffs like they did last season. I think that kind of like that hurt us more than it hurt Dallas. I think it leveled the playing field last year. But looking at the way this team's performing, guys, we've got 93 points at the deadline, 3 points ahead of the Leafs with 3 games in hand. And we are 21 points ahead of the Avalanche at the deadline. Safe to say, I think the Central Division is ours. We're 10 points ahead of the Canucks, so I can't say the Western Conference is ours, but we at least have the Central Division on lock. And again, I showed you guys the contracts. Not really much to do about that, right? Like maybe we could get Jonathan Drouin back. He does want he wants a contract. Maybe I can get him to convince him at the organization, get him to take about 2.5 or something like that, what he's currently making. I think that's the only way we could get him to come back, but I think I'm going to try and charm him. Persuasion fail. Let's convince him about the organization. We want to talk about the team status. Rebuilding is something, but I'm open to other options. Let's just try 50-50 chance to persuade him on the org. And okay, it moved it up just a little bit. Not gonna lie, your perspective has been enlightening, so we hit it again. We got a convincing chance, and he does like it. Okay, so he likes the organization a little bit more. What about the market? Does he want to play in a small market? He's used to a mid-sized market, and there we go. Okay, so persuade him a little bit up again, and all right, so there we go. I'm glad to hear that we've piqued his interest as far as contract is concerned. He's 31. I don't know if we want to. Let's just hold off on this. Let's. Oh wow, he loves this offer, but we can't make this offer. If I could get him to take $1 million less, I think that would be amazing. All right, so we're just gonna end the conversation because he does not want a $2.5 million deal. I think that's what we're finding out here. But I did convince him to like the organization a bit more, and I could do the modified no trade clause. He just again we can't afford anything more. We might be able to afford his asking price in the off season, but I think for now we probably don't want to, especially with like Sugihara and Dumais and there was the other low elite down there. What was his name? He's technically expiring. Bowman. I think it's David Bowman. Daniel Bowman, excuse me. The sniper, I mean, he looks solid enough, right? Like a really good prospect here at 19. Certainly one for the future. We'll sign him and play him in the AHL, kind of give him on, put him on that Dumais path. And honestly, I don't see a reason to do much at the deadline. We'll take a look at our assets, for our picks, but with only, we do have about $2.5 million in cap space. We could go out and get somebody maybe a bit more defensively minded for the fourth line and then send down, what's his face? Oh God, I forgot our fourth line center's name already. Luchenko, there he is. But he's medium top 6. He's probably not going to grow if I do move him down there. Dumais is an 82 down in the AHL, so I think this spells the end of a guy like Jonathan Drouin, because Dumais is already an 82. We got Sugihara, who's an 81. Morozov here is a 78 at 19, medium elite. I mean, we got him in the 3rd round. This is a fantastic two-way. Look at the defensive category, guys. 97. This player is phenomenal. The only thing that drags him down is his skating and his physical, but other than that, he's got a 4-star shot with 90s in the accuracy, which is crazy. But then everywhere else, he looks insane. So he's currently playing in Russia, and he's a point per game over in the KHL. That is wild. And as far as our draft pick situation is concerned, we have a 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th. That's really all we need. I'll poke around. I mean, I don't really want to give up anything, right? The rookie goalies. We've got Daigle. We've got Makinen. I think I'd like to keep both of them just because Makinen, is 6 overall points behind Daigle at the same age. So really nobody I'm looking to get rid of down here, especially with like Bowman being a low elite. Like really, guys, there's not much to do with the trade deadline. I'll poke around, but expect to see me closer to the end of the season. And I'm going to bring you guys into the last 5 games. It's not like we're really concerned about too much. We're 12 points ahead of the Vancouver Canucks, and if we win or get a point here, we will clinch the Western Conference. 115 points is also 11 ahead of the Maple Leafs. 12 ahead of the Canucks, right? So we are firmly in contention for back-to-back President's trophies, and maybe this year is a different year for us to not have any kind of curse once we reach the postseason. We do lose to Vancouver there, which I don't love to see. I was kind of hoping to hit 120 points, which we can. We get an overtime loss there. We beat Edmonton. Can we get to 120 points? This will be what I think it'll confirm it as the best season in Winnipeg Jets history. If we can win one of these, okay, we get one. Can we get 2 points here against San Jose? I'd like to get 121 points on the season, guys. That would be phenomenal. That would be 12 more than the Maple Leafs and 12 more than the Canucks right now? Or no, that would be 14 more than the Canucks. So we'll just go one more day. Can we beat San Jose? We should. And we do a 4-1 win, and I think I can safely say, guys, that this is the best season in Winnipeg Jets history. I'm pumped to see us with such a dominant season. Is there a record? Can we see the record book? Have we broken any franchise records? Obviously, Scheifele has got the most games played, goals, assists, points. Connor Hellebuck with wins and shutouts. I mean, he is phenomenal in franchise history. I wish we could see what we had here for team records, but maybe we can, maybe we can't. But look at that, we've set records. Scheifele with the most assists and points in a season with 136 happening this season. Kyle Connor ties the franchise record in goals because you can see 61 is the record back from 2024. So I think that might have been our first season. I can't remember if it counts the first or the second season, right? So is it 24-25? This is 26-27. So I think it's 26-27. So 24-25, our first year. Hellebuck set the franchise record in wins with 47 and tied the franchise record in... is that the... Sorry. Is that this season? I can't tell if like the 61 from Kyle Connor is the current leader and the all-time leader. So, okay, Hellebuck did not set it this season. But Scheifele sets assists and point record, and Hellebuck sets the win record for the franchise. So that, I mean, it's phenomenal, guys. Everything is going so well. Has everybody played 82? No, everybody has not played 82. Can we get everybody to play 82? Let's just advance a day here. And nope. The Stars still need to play the Wild, I believe. One more day here. Come on. There we go. All teams have played 82, and we have officially clinched the President's Trophy. So let's take a look at the season statistics. Quickly peeking at the awards. Stanley Cup winner. No, we want the President's Trophy. Yes. So 26-27. We're going to retain that trophy. It doesn't matter, though, because we got to get over the hump. The Oilers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, and they've won the Western Conference 3 straight years in the postseason. So really just need to step it up there. But the team as a whole played phenomenally, guys. 136 points for Scheifele, almost 50 goals. Kyle Connor with 60 goals, 69 assists for 129 points. Nikolai Ehlers here has 127 points with 47 goals. That's crazy. Josh Morrissey hits 100 points on the season. Hopefully that means he's edged out Cale Makar. And then everybody else just kind of chilled. 56 points then for Stankoven on the second line. He was a +5. Perfetti was a -5, but almost did get 20 goals. Anton Lundell with 23 goals, 21 assists for 44 points. So a very balanced, everybody eats mentality there on that second line. The third line looks like it was a little rough. Jonathan Drouin with 42 points, though, is fantastic. And Frank Nazar with 35. 17 goals, so up, actually a pretty stagnant season, if you will. Did a bit more on the power play. Was he still really good? Giveaway to takeaway ratio? No, not really, but it is what it is. And then the fourth line, I mean, these guys are minuses just because the game, you have to balance it, right? You can't have +62 all throughout your lineup. So +50 is ridiculous, dude, and they killed it on the power play. Blue liners, though, Josh Morrissey gets the most points I've ever seen a defenseman get for my team with 100. Hopefully that's enough to finally strip the Norris away from Cale Makar. Neil Pionk with 33, and then everybody else did well again, right? Like Zach Jones and Colin Miller were a plus. Grzelcyk and Anderson were a plus, and then obviously that top pairing in the +30s. Goaltending, Connor Hellebuck, 911 and a 279. Another solid season from Connor Hellebuck, right? Back-to-back years now where we were starting to get a little bit worried. Do we have a broken Connor Hellebuck? But at least after the first season, he really did rebound and pick it back up. Now the postseason is really where he needs to continue this form. But I think the team is just guys, I think we're really, really good right now from top to bottom. I think we got balance. We have 100-point defenseman. So let's see, where does that rank among all skaters? And Scheifele almost wins the Art Ross. 79 goals, though, for Nikita Kucherov is absolutely ridiculous as a playmaker. 377 shots. He shot 21%, so Kyle Connor, not quite that level of sniper, but a phenomenal season for him. I think I challenged him to be like a plus 30 or something like that, so he's going to get the boost to defensive awareness. Now you can see he's plus 5 there, so that's really huge. Our whole line here was 2, 3, and 4 in the entire NHL. McKinnon and Matthews. McKinnon with 77 goals. Oh my God, that makes me feel not great about the idea that Morrissey's going to win than Norris. But 79 and 77 goals. Austin Matthews with 64. Connor with 60. So that is a bonkers number. And then we look at the defenseman, and it is Morrissey with 10 more points, 10 more assists than Cale Makar. So we finally have the Norris Trophy winner on our team. And I did challenge him before the season to win the Norris. It says it right there. Our award challenge, win the Norris Trophy. So he should get some nice boosts to his defensive awareness, his strength, his endurance, I think. So it gives him some defensive boost, which is what he needs, right? It's not like, I mean, he doesn't need anything. He's 32, 95, absolutely insane player right there. And then Connor Hellebuck has the most wins in the season. And if I believe... was he the Vezina Trophy winner last year? Yeah, last one. Oh no, last one 23-24. So was not the Vezina last year. Probably won't be this year. He did have the most wins, but he wasn't really close to the Ottingers, the Demkos, the Allmarks of the league. Well, Allmark did win a Vezina, so I guess I can't be too surprised by that. But goal against average, yeah, it's Ottinger versus Demko, and I think it's going to be Ottinger. Hellebuck, though, was right up there in fourth. So it's not like he was just carried by a great defense. He had a great season himself. And then rookie skaters, who's the rookie of the year is Porter Martone with the Anaheim Ducks. Miro Shnitchenko with the Capitals, though, is a plus. I mean, there's a lot of good rookies coming into the league now. So, guys, it is phenomenal. Again, even better than last season, I'd say. I think the team performed great. Taking a look at what our stats. Oh, it does. Is it really not going to show me our team stats where we ranked in the league in goals for and goals against? I guess I'll have to do that manually. All right, goals for per game, 3.95 is number 1 in the league, tied with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Goals against per game at 2.89 is 4th. So defense was top 5 with the number 1 offense. I'll absolutely take that. The number 1 power play, I'm just going to say that without even sorting first. And then the penalty kill at 81% wasn't bad, right? It's middle of the league again. So we just kind of expect, actually, I think it's probably top half of the league. We aren't too far down. Actually, no, it's middle of the league. But who cares? Who cares? We put on a show for the home fans, 32-8-1. Obviously, the season was phenomenal no matter what. The only team better on the road than we were was the Carolina Hurricanes. So... oh man, that was one heck of a season, guys. It was simple, it was quick, it was easy. There was no stress whatsoever in the season. We will be taking on the St. Louis Blues in round number 1. Probably a more appropriate reward for being the President's Trophy winning team is taking on a team that's the Blues instead of the Stars. The Stars are too good of a team to be the 8 seed essentially. So, but that's all the time I have for this one, guys. It was a phenomenal season. I keep saying it. I just keep repeating how phenomenal this season was. But that's all the time I have for this one. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And I will see you guys in the next one.
It's a free for all, before we fall. It's a free for all.